Hey guys, welcome to JayWalk Media. This is Matt Miller, and watch what happens when this transgender activist confronts Matt Walsh during a campus speech he's giving and tells him something that he's actually never heard before. Watch how Matt Walsh responds to this. But before we jump in, I want to ask you guys to please leave a like in the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for your support. Let's jump into the video.
So I'd like to say that I'm actually a part of that organization that was going to come and try and derail you tonight. I didn't hear a single thing, though, that constituted an attack on queer or trans lives or an attack on me personally. So I don't know what they were on about there. Moreover, everything that you have said on gender identity, gender expression, John money, pronoun usage, what else? The sex gender distinction, you are 100% correct.
Wow.
You are 100% correct. I don't know if you've ever heard that from a trans person before. I identify as a trans woman. You are 100% correct on that. And it is an absolute travesty that the trans community bases everything on such vacuous concepts. My thing is, though, is I don't agree with your conclusion. I don't agree with it. But more so, the reason why I don't is less a matter of argumentation and more so a matter of method. You've stated time and time again that your approach to this is to try and keep things simple and uncomplicated, as in you don't try and engage with the nuance of the position of trans people. But that's exactly how my org treats you. They don't think that your arguments are worth looking at because they cast you as a transphobe. I did otherwise. And I looked, I'm like, yeah, no, this guy's absolutely correct on all these things.
So which conclusion are you? You said you disagree with my conclusions.
Well, it's the conclusion that of the model that you're postulating of gender, of that it's just this, you have man, woman, they're biologically contingent. My sort of question is, do you think that defaulting to simplicity, if this is the most dire issue of the age, which is something else that I agree with you on, do you really think that a method of simply recoursing to the most simplistic matter of approach is what we should be doing here?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
You
because, I mean, I appreciate, I appreciate everything that you said. And I appreciate your attitude. I very rarely encounter your attitude from that side of the ideological aisle. So I appreciate that. But yeah, I do think that making it simple is the right approach because, to my view, it is a very simple question. Now, if you want to get into the personal experiences of each individual and someone who is who's experiencing gender dysphoria and what do we do to treat that problem? Sure, there's all kinds of personal, subjective nuances and things like that. And, if my child came to me and said that they were confused about their identity, I wouldn't just say, get out of my face. I would want to sit down and talk to them. And that's when you get into, that becomes a sort of an interpersonal exchange. And so you get into some of those personal nuances and everything, and that's fine. But the underlying fact, the underlying reality is simple, that there are only males and females in the human race. There are no other categories. There is no third sex. It doesn't exist.
So this person told Matt Walsh that they agreed with him, but then said that they disagree with his conclusion, which I would argue is the most important part of agreeing with somebody is that you agree with their conclusion. So clearly this was just a statement made as a Trojan horse to try to disagree with him in a sneaky roundabout way. And Matt Walsh saw right through this, of course, and kind of just turned the tables right back on him. Basically, he said that he disagrees that gender is a binary, and Matt Walsh is disregarding the nuances of the transgender argument, of the transgender case. This is where this guy's comment kind of just turned into gibberish for me because, this is just like that highfalutin, nonsensical academic speak that doesn't really mean anything. He's telling Matt Walsh, you need to engage with the nuances, you need to go in this more roundabout thinking in order to draw proper conclusions about transgenderism. He's saying your thinking is too straightforward. You're making this too simple. It needs to be more complicated. That is not a critical thinker. That's somebody who is into the circle jerk activities of academia, the theorizing and the postulating and all this stuff, when really it's like, let's figure out what gender is. There's two choices. Biology produces two choices, and that's a binary. And you might think that if you were born one choice and you think that you're the other choice, that's still a binary. If you think that you're in the middle between those two choices, you're still in the middle between a binary. And Matt Walsh makes this very clear. It is pretty simple. It's just two choices. And this person is saying you need to make it more complicated in order to understand it. That is the words of a charlatan. That's the words of somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about or is trying to seduce you into faulty thinking, something that's not logical. So anyway, I think Matt Walsh did a great job keeping this conversation on track and not falling for making it more difficult than it needed to be. So it's good. You got to keep a clear head, stick to logic. That's what wins debates. Stick to the facts, stick to clear critical thinking. And if somebody tells you that you're not making this complicated enough, then you probably won the argument. So anyway, let me know what you guys thought of this clip in the comments. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe. We appreciate your support on the channel. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.